just got finished with meeting with a friend for coffee in the Upper West Side, and now I'm in Central Park, which fun to kind of just wander here. But I'm right by the MoMA, so I decided to do a little gallery or museum day. So let's go together. Here's my outfit. I have on a button-up, my mom's old bomber jacket, a little hat, and jeans. I just realized the MoMA is actually closed. So I think I'm gonna go to the Guggenheim, which I've actually never been to. So this will be a new experience for me today too. To share my post-museum thoughts. I just left the Guggenheim. It's actually my first time there. I don't know how I felt about it, to be completely honest. It definitely wasn't one of my favorite museums. It was mostly one big, like all around the sphere was one, or cylinder, whatever, ramp, was one big exhibition, and it was a sculpturist, so it was mostly 3D art, which isn't my favorite, but I will say some of those were really cool, especially the metal pieces. Like, I don't really understand how they get them to look like fabric. That always blows my mind. But yeah, I feel like I wish there had been a little bit more diversity. There was a section that was part of their permanent collection that had some really interesting pieces, and like Picasso and Van Gogh and stuff like that. But it wasn't as expansive as I was expecting. I think the entry level was a little bit hard, just because since it mostly was just this one artist. If you didn't really vibe with the 3D art, then it's kind of hard to find your entry point. Okay, I feel like this needs some clarification. By entry point, I mean, like, if you're someone who doesn't engage with art often, doesn't go to museums often, when you enter a museum, you want a space where you can easily feel like you can enter the space and engage with it. And I feel like when it's something very contemporary, it feels like if you're someone who doesn't know much about art, it can be hard to find that safe entry point, especially when there's not, like, a lot of explanation behind it. Like, someone could look at it and be like, what even is this? This is just some chains. This is stupid, and leave. I love museums, and I think the more that I kind of explore where I want to work, I studied art history background, and I have kind of thought maybe I wanted to work in art galleries, art museums. I love the historical element of art museums and the art history of it all. And I think that's maybe why I struggled with this too, since it was mostly contemporary art. They didn't have the historical element of it. And sometimes I feel like museums that are just like contemporary art, or like galleries, there's something very performative about it, and a lot of people don't really actually experience the art, I guess. They kind of go in and just like take pictures to post on Instagram. And so I think that like when there is, which this Goog did have like a little room that had like a learning room, and I think those are really valuable to get people to kind of experience and learn something. And I think that's like an essential part of a museum. Also, this one wasn't super expansive because it was a sculptress. It was mostly just like the materials that she works with, and you can like touch them. So that was cool. But yeah, I think when there's more of a historical element of it, you have a better opportunity for people to learn about the art. My like favorite museum of all time is the Picasso Museum in Barcelona, and that is like a really good example of that. They had like a lot of videos and writings and different things that just taught you about the history and about the art, specifically about his process, about all of that, rather than just pictures with some random wall writings. And you need to have a clear like boundary for entry for newcomers, and I feel like that was kind of lacking there. But overall, I did like it. I thought the shape was really interesting in the way you kind of journey up. So it kind of had a clear like flow to it, which I thought that was nice. I hate when you get like lost in a museum and you're like, wait, have I been here yet? Have I been here yet? So that part was nice to be able to kind of know where you're going, and also to just be able to see across and see like what other people are experiencing too. But yeah, I just love being in museums too. It just makes me happy to look at art and be close by it. So that was a fun little surprise for the day today.